I'm Dr. Ashley,
I'm Sherry.
and this is From Her Point of View. Darnell, you're up.
Hold on, we done went through some numbers.
Yes, we have. I'll tell you if we've already done that number.
Let's go with 10, I think. I don't know.
Are you intimidated by women that make more money than you?
Ooh, that's a good one. Listen here. This goes back to what I was saying. If for some reason you make more than I do, when I get home, I'll make sure the house is clean. I'm like, regardless what you bring in the house, you should be bringing it as a team.
Mm-hmm.
So if you make more than I do, if you make less than I do, here's the way I look at life. If you make less than I do, pick up more around the house.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm making less than you do, I'll make sure that I'm picking up more slack around the house. As long as you're paying your weight, it really shouldn't matter who's making what. I don't know who all listen to this, but my dad was a housewife for years.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
There is nothing wrong with it, but his job was to make sure the house was clean, was to make sure dinner was cooked. If she got home and shit wasn't done, there was going to be problems because she was at work all day. Why weren't you working all day?
Mm-hmm.
And all the kids were in school. So it
So
really
no,
plays
you're
that.
not intimidated.
Oh, no, not by far.
Yeah.
You want me to come in the bedroom and strip for you and you want to throw some ones? I'm down.
Hey.
Yeah, crazy.
What you think, Chris?
Bother me not, man. My wife is starting school in January, and by the time she's out, unless I go to school while she's in school, she'll make more than me. I could care less. You know what I mean? I want her to feel fulfilled when she go to work. I don't want her to feel like she working for nothing when she does go to work. I mean, even if she hates her job, at least she can be like, you know what? At least the money makes sense on some level. You know what I mean? It don't bother me at all. I don't think that's your only job as a man is simply to provide. Like or that's what makes you a man is that you make more money than your wife. I mean, what makes you a man is how you look after your family. And that just don't only involve money. That's decision making, that's protection, that's it's a whole gamut of things that I feel like is either overlooked or unappreciated. And not that men need props, but nobody doesn't like to hear, hey, you're doing a good job. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are, what kind of job you got. You could be the grumpiest nigga on the face of this earth, but if somebody say, hey, man, you shined that shoe real good today. Thanks, man. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, it don't bother me. My ex-wife made more money than me, but I still paid all the bills. I don't know how that worked out, but whatever. I mean, it didn't bother me, like, because I could, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everything was taken care of. Everything taken care of now. And again, once my wife gets out of school, she'll make more than me unless I go back. And she's okay with that. But it also means that she can do some of the other things that she wants. She can work less and make more, so she ain't got to work as much. So if she want to work 2 days a week, do that. If you want to work 1 day a week, do that. We're going to be all right regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think that's what makes that. I think that's the biggest part is that you got to make sure as a man that everything is taken care of, regardless of you bringing in that money. You got to make sure everything is what it needs to be. However you do that, you know what I mean?
And it's funny that you say that because I keep a bottle of cologne in the car just for when I'm about to walk in the house because I know she loves that smell. Even though that I've been at work for 16 hours and I'm getting ready to get in the shower, pump 2 sprays on, come in, give her a kiss, tap her on the butt, say I love you. Babe, I'm getting in the shower.
Be ready. Because I tell you what, women love a man that smells good, okay?
I love being called a snack when I get home. You smelling like a whole...
And looking back at the question, I'm not sure that intimidated is the right word.
Mm-mm.
Because
I think I think it is.
You know what I'm trying to get across, but intimidated is not the right word.
For some men, it is.
Over.
Oh yeah.
I have a perfect example. I just thought about it because I'm in the bar. I have a woman that comes to the bar and she's the lead homicide detective for the area I live in.
Okay. So
She is so
150K.
lonely, and she's lonely because no man wants to feel that they can step up, or the men around her, I should say, don't feel that they can step up and be a part of her life.
Is it
Because
because
they're
of her
intimidated.
position or because of her dollars?
Because of her dollars, because of her position.
It's all together.
I've actually seen her talking to a couple of different people, and by the end of the conversation, like the guys just, you can see the guys no longer tuned in.
I think it all comes down to like what kind of man you are too. Like some men know how to step up no matter what. Some don't. Like you.
Correct.
Wait,
Yeah,
can you say that again?
Some men know how to step up no matter what, and some don't. Like I know dudes that's legitimately intimidated by taller women. Like that makes me laugh because I love trees. Like
now,
like,
hold on. Intimidated and just not a preference are two different things.
No, that's true. But I know dudes that's all right. So Ashley knows
Legit.
one of them. Yeah, like legit intimidated. Like I won't because she's taller than me. Like almost like he got he mad at her because she taller. He ain't. Like I know dudes like that.
That still may not be intimidation. Like me, I don't like taller women.
But that's your preference. I'm like, you can see it in this dude, Darnel. I promise you, like, Ashley know who I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
You can see it.
Okay.
So preference and intimidation is not the same thing.
No.
Oh, no.
You know what you like and you know
Mm-hmm.
what you don't like, but you also know what you see that you may like, but you're kind of feeling inferior to. And for a lot of men, it's like for a woman, so I feel like for a woman to make more than a man does, right?
Mm-hmm.
The issue comes down to the fact that the stigma is that when a man makes more money, he can tell the woman what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or when a woman makes more money, can she really tell the man what to do?
But don't that come back to respect?
It does.
That goes right back to everything we've been talking about as far as, hey, do the same with her indoors as you would do with her outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be about who's telling who what to do. In a relationship, when you get in, don't get me wrong, everybody feels each other out at the beginning. But overall, once you're in your relationship, you know what part you're playing.
And if you don't like it, you can exit stage left.
Yeah, and you know, I honestly, like, you know, even with me being where I'm at now with my wife, and it won't always be like that because nothing's changed from when she was working to now. Any decisions, any moves, any money, anything done to the house, anything that needs to be done, we talk about it first. 9 out of 10.
But now, I ain't want to interrupt you, but that's the complete definition of respect. Nothing's going to change because of your situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's who you are. It's what y'all built. I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue.
No, bro. That's perfect because it's like I give you the perfect example. Like, you know, my wife ain't putting up the money for the new washer and dryer. Well, she did a little bit, but like as far as the door that it needs to come in, so we need a new door. Like all of that stuff, I'm doing all the contractor talk and, you know, setting up the days and everything and making sure that either I'm home or another thing. Like whether or not I'm setting all that up, I'm still having all those conversations with her, whether she's putting it in or not, or whether, you know, she needs help with it or not. No matter what, like everything is a certain way for a certain reason. One, we all on the same page. Two, I owe you the respect of telling you it's your house too. And it's our relationship, like he said before, and like, you know, Bible or not, y'all won. So it should just it shouldn't, like he said, shouldn't nothing change because of anything else. Like you should always be the same person. If you really gonna love her and respect her and do right by her and yourself, then everything should be on the same page.
And that doesn't have anything to do with who's bringing in what and
How
much.
But I think it does, because if she respects you in the same, it shouldn't matter what she bring in.
Right.
If she respects you as her man, then if she making moves or wants to make moves, she should still be going through you first. The same way you should be doing vice versa. I don't think who bringing the money should matter when it comes to that. You know what I mean? I think the problem actually comes in, honestly, and this is my personal opinion, is when she makes more and she owns everything. Because then you feel like, oh man, I don't have a
I was
say
going to
anywhere.
say that because it comes
Because
down.
men,
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, because it comes down to that, like
Yeah,
ownership.
because
Like you feel like because you bringing in the money that you can set the rules. No.
Yep. And I can't speak for all men, man, but I can say that as a younger man, I did fall victim to that before, and I had to learn, and like that's not cool. Like just because you do this, you do that, like don't mean you can talk any kind of way you want or say certain things, whether you be yelling or talking normal. You gotta tone all that down because nobody want that. Because I know me, the type of person I am. You tell me that enough times, okay, I'm out. I see you.
Correct.
I'm not saying, you know what I mean? I'm good. I'll roll. Women are, women are people. Like it sounds weird, but women are people too. Like they gonna feel the same way that a man gonna feel in a given situation. So, you know what I mean, like he said, you should see a reflection of yourself. So if I know that about me, she's probably the same way.
And if she's not, you need to exit stage left. And women, if he's not, you need to exit stage left, because it's all about setting the tone of the relationship. What is it that we're going to do moving forward? No matter who makes what. You could have a place and he could live with his mom, right? Or you could live with your mom and he got his own place. Like you have to set the tone of the relationship as far as what is it that you're looking for and what actually makes sense for y'all. Because there are people, men and women, who will come into relationships making more or less, feeling as though they're entitled.
Or that they have less say because they're not men, they're not on that level financially. And it's like, if you're dealing with the right person, that really don't matter, or it shouldn't. I'll say that.
They don't feel balanced in the relationship. So you kind of have to bow down because you're not bringing as much as the other person is. And it shouldn't be like that.
Here's a question. Go ahead.
I was about to say that gets weird because that completely contradicts what I just said. Like, I believe that whoever is making less or whatever the case may be should be picking up a couple more responsibilities around the house.
No, I think that actually goes.
But that goes back to the balance. You can be doing everything in the house and your spouse is paying all the bills. That's okay because that's balance. But you can't have a spouse who's working 16 hours a day, 65 hours a week, and you just at home watching your shows. Like, no.
But what if you're both working the same amount of time, but one is making more? That shouldn't matter, because then you coming home, you still work the same amount of time. The division of labor needs to be
equal.
Exactly.
Again, you're working the same amount of time. That does play a difference in the ball game.
Yeah.
Just because you're going to be just as tired as me, if not more.
Right.
So with that being said, I completely understand. I understand the whole balance on that note. That wasn't actually my case. That's why I didn't mention that. But I'm like, if you're working together and you're both doing 8 hours a day, why not split the housework?
Yep.
My situation more for you may be working 3-4 hours a day. I'm going and pulling a 16, and then I got to find food when I get home.
You got to find food and wash your clothes.
And have somebody come in and clean.
Right.
Cherry was, wow.
Yeah. But that's why honesty and communication is so important. Even when you feel like what you may say may hurt the person's feelings, you got to be honest about where you are in your life, what you want, what you don't want, what's a deal breaker, because these things will determine what kind of relationship you have with that person.
Listen here, the worst thing you can possibly do is go in and completely lie about the situation. Just the fact that when she finds out about this by somebody else, it's just a whole headache. Like, damn, I cheated, okay, but you found out from Letitia, Tanya, and Ashley. Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, Tanisha.
I'm not a snitch.
You're a lagger.
Stop talking about Wentworth. Cut it out.
Yeah, that's my show. But go ahead.
So I think we've well covered, the intimidation about the money. It's not so much intimidation. It's about balance.
Yeah.
So
I think you're up, Khris.
Anybody hit one yet?
Number one.
I feel like
This
that's
is
gonna
the
be a bad
question that we talked about, Khris.
We did.
Yeah, about how do you feel about social media likes and engagement? How do you feel about likes? Do you care about likes? Do you care about engagement? Do you care about what your significant other posts or how it's received? What do you think about social media overall?
I hate like legit, like, and this is just me now I hate social media the older I get because people just lie up there just for the sake of lying and looking good. And I just be like, like, come on, dog. I know you in real life. I legit know you're in like them angles and them filters and that same vacation picture for 4 years in a row, like just in a different spot in the hotel. It's irritating. God, I hate it, yo. God, I hate it. I'll say this. Everybody uses social media different. I use it for legitimately laughter and memes, okay? I don't really post a lot, not like I used to when I was younger. And the other thing is, I'm definitely not posting anything like truly relationship-wise. Maybe an anniversary picture here and there or something like that. But like, I don't want anything on social media that should be private or should be talked about between me and my wife. Not that I'm checking what she does, but she know me well enough to know what's cool and what ain't. And she don't even really use it like that either, to be honest. That's something that we both kind of drawn away from as we gotten older because we kind of see some of the pitfalls that we've seen other people fall into or certain pitfalls we just don't want to. But engagements, if you want that for the world, then fine. I know I did a big engagement. I know I did. I think I set the bar pretty well for that, matter of fact. But
I wasn't
that's
necessarily
because
talking about that engagement. I'm talking about engagement.
okay, my bad.
engagement,
Not your proposal.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But she's talking about.
But that was a big one. That was a big one, Khris.
But thank you.
She's talking about like in the sense of how you interact with people on social media, as far as liking posts, not liking posts, making comments. And you're a married man, so how do you navigate?
Because listen, man. I look at it like this, man. If I'm honest with myself at this point in life, I know me well enough to know what I can and can't do. There's certain places I won't go. There's certain people that even my homies to this day that I won't be around because they not force, but they gonna peer pressure me enough until at the end of the night I'm gonna be driving home the way I shouldn't be driving home or something like that. It's certain things I just ain't gonna do for the simple fact that I'll never want my wife to feel no type of way about nothing. Not that she's insecure, because she's not. But why? But certain things why I even put it out there like that. If we on a certain level about certain things that we know each other well enough, and some of it ain't even knowing your wife. Some of it is just knowing people. If you know certain people flirtatious and gonna take things the wrong way or start certain stuff, don't start with them. Don't like the picture. Don't make a comment. Like certain stuff, some dudes can't hold back the temptation of that. Like, cause let's be honest, men are hunter-gatherers. We enjoy the chase. Like we just don't hunt just to eat. Sometimes we just like to gather and then let it be free. That's just honesty. I mean, that's why, sometimes men, and not that it's right, but they view nude pictures as like baseball cards. That's the truth. Like most men that I know, not that we showing each other, but we got a vault. And
we're not showing each other, but we have a vault.
You got a vault for yourself. I got a book of baseball cards in my boy's room. Every once in a while, I just go look at the cards, and that's it. Do I have the vault anymore? No, I got married. I deleted it. It's just what I needed to do. Is what I should have did. You know what I mean? But that's the relationship I had with my wife. That ain't everybody's relationship. Some women don't care. Some women do. It all depends on where you at with who you at. To me knowing my wife well enough and me being who I am, I felt that she meant that much to me that didn't mean nothing to me if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like, I don't have to like really watch myself on social media because I'm who I'm gonna be, if that makes sense. And who I'm gonna be is somebody who's not gonna disrespect my wife. So I don't have to like watch myself or worry about what I'm like or don't like. My wife don't come to me like, I see this like on this picture, or why you say this. Like she's never come to me saying that ever. And we've been talking 5 years. So, I mean, I don't have an insecure wife. So it's not something that's really an issue with us. And it's not something I'm going to do regardless for her to have to come to me with anything.
So Darnell, I was going to say, excuse me, Mr. Darnell, with you and your multiples, how does that work?
Your multiples.
Are multiples though?
Yeah.
So look, we're all in. The one thing I found about Facebook is, first of all, I don't really give a fuck. Facebook is for Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook is for those people who really don't have the life, who really just want to be in yours.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said, it was actually weird because I'm one of those who I'll post a vacation picture every 3 months. Now, with that being said, I'm actually on vacation every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets a little weird. I always have to refer to my ex because in her split, I had massive inboxes saying, hey, if you're going to treat me how you treated her, like, I'm down, like, what's up? So Facebook is just for those who you really don't pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, they're paying attention to you.
Yep.
They want to see every move you make. They want to see what's going on in your relationship. So the minute that it goes south, they can try to step in and steal what was had. As far as what we like and what we dislike, listen here, we make it a point not to be on each other's Facebook. Like me and my two partners, we're not Facebook friends. Now you'll see them in pictures or, you know, whatever the case may be, but you won't see them tagged in anything because we're not even friends. But you can go to her page and see me, you can go to her page and see me, you can go to one of their pages and see each other. But as far as being friends and me monitoring what you like and what you don't like, I'm not your mom or your dad. Like, we're all adults. Like, this is a team. If I have to monitor what you're doing, there's no reason I should be with you.
Too much work.
Good deal.
I think we're a bit more mature than some of the other people that may be in our audience. Not to offend, because some of our younger generation, they care about how many likes something gets, and they care about who is responding and commenting on their pictures.
How often they're posted or not.
Yeah, it says something to them about their self-worth, and I think that our group that's discussing this right now might be a bit beyond that.
I think it was only one time where I cared to make sure that, or 2 times if I'm honest, her engagement, because I can be honest about this. When I got divorced, and I say a fair amount of my homies knew what I went through when I got divorced, how much time it took and all the crap I had to go through it. Wow. I had no problem telling the world, like, yo, this is my heart. You know what I mean? This is my world. That was the first time I posted my wife ever. You know what I mean? And the only other time that I truly cared, I think, was like the engagement, because everybody knew the wedding was coming after that, but the engagement was like my world, and you know what I mean, world premiere, world, whatever. That was for me, that was the letting the world, you know, proclaim. It was my way of shouting at the mountaintop how much I loved her. And then, not that it was for Facebook, but it was, if I'm honest, it was for me, or it's like a message from me to her, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
So I think I'm not even going to say I think. This question came about because what we notice is that with a lot of women, a lot of men don't have boundaries, right? So you on Instagram, you on Facebook, you on Twitter, you on all these social media sites, and you liking, comment, and posting, sharing everybody but me. So when you're doing that, you have to question, well, what are you really doing? Because I don't see me on your page, but I see that you've like 8 friends we got in common. You liking all their stuff, but you don't like none of my stuff. You ain't sharing none of my stuff. And when you talk about respect, I don't think it's a more so on the lines of respect, but it is like when people know that you're in a relationship with this person, they are questioning, well, you know, what are you really doing? The person is questioning, what are you really doing? So that's where the question came about. Like, what does that look like? How does it make you feel? Is it is it something that needs to be discussed
Excuse me.
when you notice that your partner is doing a bit much on social media, or do you just not care?
Now, again, that brings me back to my point. Social media is for those that don't have a life. If I liked her picture because she was in a thong and her titties was out, okay, I like the picture. In the same sense, doesn't mean I want her. Doesn't mean that I want to do anything with her. Most men are going to like a picture with ass and titties. Let's be real. With that being said, that goes back to the boundaries on why are you liking her stuff? If you know what you have and you're not questioning it, what's the purpose? Listen here, he can like whatever he wants to like. I know he's in my bed every night.
And that's a good point, Darnell, because Sherry, I understand what you're saying, but I don't care. Like, you don't have to share me. You don't have to, like, I know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Real life.
Like, I'm really, really in this. So it's like,
well, I'm gonna say this to the viewer or the listener that actually made this request. As far as this question, the one who made this question, it's not okay for her man to go to a strip club. I guarantee it.
It's not okay.
Why
for
not?
her
Why
to
not,
go to the
Darnell?
strip club.
Tell us why.
Because if you're
They
really
insecure.
stressed about on Facebook, you don't want him in a strip club.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he likes to tear ass and titties on Facebook, then it's in real life. Oh, that's a whole different argument. Me personally, I take mine with me to the strip club. They throw more money than I do.
Darnell.
It's a big factor with the insecurity. If you're that insecure that you're watching his page, you're seeing what he's liking, oh, you like LaTonda, whatever. Come on, so the fuck what? It was a picture. I wasn't in her DM. I wasn't trying to smash. I didn't roll up on her. I liked the picture.
And also, like it's also come back to knowing who you're dealing with. Like some dudes have that what you call it, that self-control that they can like a picture and keep it moving, like they never saw it. Like, oh, I saw it and that was gone. Like, I have a short-term memory on certain things. My wife can tell me something, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. And then next, babe, huh? You know what I mean? It's legit. Some dudes can just be like that. And some dudes, they can't help themselves but to go and explore that thing. You have to know who you're dealing with. And if you're that insecure where you can't deal with a dude that's going to explore, then don't be with him. But if you're dealing with a dude that you truly know doesn't really care and just like, oh, that's a nice picture, keep it moving, then you cool. But it all comes with what you can do. It goes back to people knowing themselves and truly knowing who you're dealing with. So it goes back to honesty and show me who you are type thing. So, I mean, listen, man, I lived a life when I was younger. I'll say it like that. And I keep saying young because I'm 36. I'm almost at 40 now, so I'm catching up to Jeff.
Hey.
But like when I was younger, I lived a life. I'll say it like that. And I'm not saying I'm proud of everything I did. I could have done a lot of things different and better. I definitely wish I had the knowledge I have now just to do certain things earlier. But like, I'm not that person anymore. I don't need to explore. I really don't care that much. I love my wife unequivocally. I can honestly say she's the first person in my life who truly made me a better person and want to be a better person. Not just because of my own personal growth, but that's because who she deserves. That's who my kids need.
I got a beautiful example if you're finished.
Go ahead. We listening.
So is Jeff listening as well?
No, he's
I
not
mean,
here.
he will be.
Yeah, he's our editor, so.
I thought he was actually had a question for him.
What's the question? Because we could piggyback on that later.
I know his answer.
So, Ashley, if I came and me and you know each other through Sherry, if I came and gave you an ultra long hug because I haven't seen you in a while, how is that going to make him feel?
Jeff is going to laugh.
He's not going to care.
Jeff is going to laugh.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He does not care. He's not insecure at all.
No,
about relationship.
I actually wonder about Jeff sometimes. Like, do you love your wife?
I mean, he just really
he's just that guy.
He's not jealous at all. He's not insecure at all.
He really ain't.
I can hug all his.
I'm saying as another man. I know Jeff my whole life. That's
right.
never been him. It's like Jeff is like, yo, we together, and that's it.
But that's the thing. That's knowing your partner. Because you'll have some guys that if you come up, matter of fact, I was in Baltimore this past, like 2 weeks ago. Baltimore and Steelers game. Y'all know how that turned out.
Boo.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And I went to the casino. And some girl from Pittsburgh was there with her girlfriend. And she was like, hey, Darnell, like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. You know, I walked in for a hug. She was like, one arm. Your chick is that insecure that I can't give you a hug. I've known you for like 14 years.
At least she knew better. Because I'm your cousin. I'm your cousin. And I know when you bring certain chicks around, we can't be how we be because they be thinking that you're doing too much for your fam.
And I'd be like, fuck them. Like, This is who I am. I'm happy you said that.
But that's the flags.
Be who you are. This is what we've been saying this whole show. Be exactly who you are.
And yeah, we don't like that. I can say this is a cross. I can honestly right now speak for all men. Nobody likes, like, men hate to meet y'all representatives. We don't want to meet front desk you. We want to meet CEO you, okay? We don't care how you was at the front desk because that's a lie. That's Facebook. That's the filters. That's all the BS. We need to meet the CEO off the back. Otherwise, we don't want to merge with the company.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I want a naked picture up front. Because I want a naked picture while you're in the house.
They can filter it. They can filter it, Darnell.
I know a filter. You send me a filtered picture, you're never going to get a response back.
They can chop and screw it.
He said, is your house fucking clean?
Is your house? Take your waist trainer off. And I'm a big guy, so no issue with weight. But be who you are. Like okay, perfect example. We're in a hotel room. Are you going to wake up 2 hours before I do? So you can go in the bathroom, put your makeup on, fix your wig.
Nope.
Put your on.
I need all that breath and everything. I want to smell the morning breath. I want to know if you how bad your breath stink. You just wake
because
up,
there's a difference in the breaths. Because it could just be morning breath, and there's a difference in a rotten tooth smell.
Yes.
And halitosis.
And halitosis and
I want it all.
Yeah, we need to know.
Smell after the gym, everything. Come on.
Most women don't realize when a man steps into a situation, a entanglement, a relationship, most men want long haul. I'm going to exclude the men from jail that need a place to stay or the niggas that need a place to stay because it's cold out there. But most men want, when they enter any of the three, they are looking for the long haul.
Yep. But everybody go about it differently.
Yeah, they do. But most men will tell you, if you meet in a club, hey, I want to see what that's like. And that's literally what they want to do. They want to see what your pussy's like and walk away. If I invite you over to my home, there's a big difference with me. If I meet you out and we're going to have sex that night, we're going to a hotel. If I like you and I feel that we actually are vibing and I want to see where this goes, you can come to the house. Mm-hmm. So it's a difference in where I take you. But you also have women like, oh, he bought a hotel room for me. Listen here. I didn't. I bought it for me.
I bought it for me.
Say, listen here.
No, I agree with him though, man. It's all you'll know all right, not all the time because
that's that full transparency.
Between alcohol and everything else, like everybody approaches everybody differently. But let's just say under the best of the circumstances and y'all both sober, you'll know almost everything you need to know about a man by how he approach you. That's my personal opinion. And that's just how I am. Like meeting my wife wasn't like on purpose. We wasn't looking for each other. It was by accident, legit. We met at a football game when I used to play in an adult league. And my kids kept running onto the field. And she was watching her brother kids. And she was like, yo, I can like keep the kids off the field if you want. You know what I mean? Like, all right, cool, thank you. And that's how we met.
Be perfect. No disrespect. That is sexy. A woman that you don't know taking control of the
happened. Some kids. See, I'm not the one. I wasn't the one.
Right. Get your
That's why I got the other Philly bull, not him. I wasn't the one.
Like,
No, but
it
I
was
agree
weird.
with it.
I was about to say it was weird, but I'm a truck driver in the morning. I'm a firefighter in the evening. Sometimes I'm security at a nightclub. And one of the bartenders just walked up to me and was like, "Hey, did you eat today?" That was the most I've heard.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Somebody care about your well-being. I mean, that's how me and my wife met. Like, legit, somebody who cared about my well-being. Like, listen, my brother told me you work a lot. If you ever need any help, watching your kids, I got you. Just let me know. I was like, okay. She did. This is how I knew I was gonna marry my wife. Okay, I'm gonna just say this. This is when, for me, and I she knows this. This is how I knew I was gonna marry my wife. This was probably like she had already been watching my kids maybe for about a month, and not every day, just literally hearing them, maybe once a week. But one day I called her and I said, hey, they called me in for a stat case tomorrow up in New Jersey. I need, doctor needs me, whatever. I need to go up there. And she was like, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got to work until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Cool. I wait. She comes to my house 7 o'clock in the morning because I got to be there at the surgery center at 9. And I'm working with the slowest doctor in the world. I'm on my way home from work and it's pushing 5. And I'm like, yo, I'm so sorry. She's like, don't even worry about it. I already called out. I got you. Okay. I get home. Kids are just playing, watching TV. She's sitting on the couch. And she says, don't worry about them. Go ahead and take care of yourself. I know you're tired. You've been up all day. Okay, I go upstairs and I walk past. Wait, hold on. I walk past my kid's room and it's clean. The clothes is washed, folded, and put away. And I didn't notice it the first time. And I walked back and I double take like, I didn't ask her. It's just who she was. That's just who she is. And it meant so much to me because she saw me struggling with these 3 niggas. And she's cared enough to try to help.
Called the children niggas. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because they are niggas. But she cared enough to help. She cared enough about me to say, hey, I can do this for you. And then when I came downstairs, she said, hey, it's still some stuff left over from lunch. If you want, I left it in the fridge for you. That meant everything in the world to me. Because it's not little. Not to men, at least. It's not little, man. Someone who cares about your well-being, that cares enough about you to just do something.
And she did it without you having to say anything.
Without saying anything, without expecting anything in return, without wanting a relationship. My wife was not interested in me when we first met. She was literally helping because that's who she is. I told my wife I loved her first. She wasn't sure. She looked at me like I was crazy. Like, this nigga don't know he loved me. But I knew. I knew. And a month later, she knew, but I knew. So, I mean, it wasn't because she was looking for a relationship. She's too genuine for her to fake that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's all I got.
That's a lot.
She was holding it down, no questions asked.
I mean, I love her. she could be my wife. I ain't never looked in a room and seen some clothes folded
and put away. What we doing?
What?
Yo, and I got 3 kids, so it ain't a little bit of clothes. Or I had 3 kids at the time.
I would have
married them too. That's just where women don't realize that it's not always the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not always going out and buying me. First of all, I don't wear J's, but it's not about going to wear J's. It's not about, I can do all this myself.
Yeah.
It's that kindness that, well, you don't have to do this. It's already done. You didn't ask me. You didn't do anything, but the shit's done.
Yep.
Look here. That warrants Dominican Republic trips, Jamaica trips, for me anyway. Listen here. You want to go out to Spain? Let's roll. If I'm taken care of and that little bit of stress is taken off of me, you figure I deal with stress from the first job. My second job is very, very stressful. If you can take that other stress that's not needed away, we're perfect.
You can go wherever you want.
Like, they don't even understand that sometimes it's just, yo, I went to Giant to get some stuff for the house. I got you some ice cream. Oh, thank you. How do you know I wanted some sweet today? Like, you're not saying it out loud. Be like,
Got you
babe.
some peanut butter bars.
Yeah, just little stuff like that. Like, it don't have to, like he said, it don't have to be no sneaks and nothing. Like, I gave a stupid example the other day. Like, my son broke my chargers for my phone. I have a charger just for my car, but I brought it in the house. The 1-year-old breaks it. My wife come on the other day and gives me a charger like, here. And I'm just in my head, I'm on the road a lot for my job. And I'm just like, that makes life so much easier. I don't have to remember I don't remember nothing because I wake up so early for work. So I'm on autopilot until about 9 a.m. But like tomorrow I got to get up at like 4 a.m. for work. So I don't remember nothing until 9 a.m. So I'm not remembering to bring nothing or nothing like that. Some nights she packed the bag for me before work. So I have everything I need. Or she'll remind me in the morning or the night before. But like that little stuff, that mean everything, man. Like that's the whole one thing. That's the complete you part. You know what I mean? Some women don't know how to complete the person. Some men don't know how to complete the women either.
But again, now I'm gonna bring a perfect example. Last night, I had one over, and she was sick. She's down. Listen here, and she brought her daughter over. Okay, listen here. Y'all both are sick, or y'all staying the night. Well, no, I'm gonna take her to the sitter, and then I'm gonna come back. All right. Well, first of all, listen here. Y'all gonna take this medicine. I'm gonna run the Family Dollar real quick. Grab y'all both some medicine. Take a dose. Sit back, watch TV. We'll order a pizza. You take her home. When you come back, you take another dose. I'm putting you to bed.
Yeah.
Okay. So she had nighttime medicine. She was up at the crack of dawn. Okay, I woke up. Babe, lunch is packed. I'll see you when you get off. Those are beautiful things that men appreciate so much more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you to get a hotel room. Go home, beat me home, put something sexy on, make sure the house is clean, throw some music on. That is a great night. Women think that men are so difficult, most men go off of 3 categories. Food, sex, and sleep. Most men. If you can accomplish those 3, and I don't have to ask for anyone, it's going to be peaceful. If you add the love and the respect there, it's going to be a quiet relationship. Oh, I got the ladies quiet now.
You wrote that down?
Wait, we wrote that down.
What
Chronic.
question did we leave off on?
One was the last question we was on.
Was on social media?
Mm-hmm. That morphed.
Oh, it sure did.
Yeah.
So whose turn is it? Darnell, I think it's your turn to pick.
Yeah.
Just throw a random one out there at this point.
Random.
Because I don't know what numbers we hit.
Yeah.
7.
What is one thing you won't tolerate in a relationship?
We've already covered that.
We already did that one. We could probably skip that.
What was that?
No, let's be specific.
You said all the things that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Disrespect, honesty.
Disrespect, dishonesty,
Yep.
not being genuine, you won't tolerate.
Correct.
Okay, well that question was quickly addressed. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For what in life do you feel the most grateful?
I have to be perfectly honest with this one. I have to go with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
This little heifer will make you smile no matter what. Maybe it's just because I'm dead, but all day it's a smile.
She loves her poppy.
Yeah, like she called me the other day and was like, "Hey, Dad, what you doing? Nothing. Hey, come pick me up." Wow, what's up, baby? Mommy's on my nerves. Listen here, little heifer.
That's funny.
That to me, like it tickles my heart just to know that you still have that innocence in the world where she can't laugh. She just says whatever's on her mind. And to be perfectly honest, like that, when that's what you're looking for, and it's just so genuinely given to you, all you can do is smile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you most grateful for, Chris?
I'm honest, man. Like, I hate to like kind of steal his answer, but it's my family as a whole, man. I sometimes you wish you could change the circumstances under which kids came, but then it's like you change who they are. You know what I mean? Or who they would be, I should say. I love my kids, man. As you know, I fought more for my daughter in the past 3 years than some men will their whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
I've done more for my kids from 11, 7, 5, and 1, from those ages than most men will do their entire lives if people really knew the story behind it. Like, just, if, like, my homies joke with me that my life is daddy's little girl sometimes. You know what I mean? But only I didn't lose. You know what I mean? In the beginning, like, I keep saying I couldn't ask for a better woman to be my wife. And I love
You
all
love
of
her
them.
down.
Dude, if I could truly, like I said, I don't have anything negative to say about my ex-wife, and I won't. I respect her for being my children's mother, for being my ex-wife, for being the mother that she is to my boys. Nothing negative to say about her. We just didn't work as a couple, or as a married couple, I should say. But if you knew what I've been through overall, women-wise, you would understand why I truly appreciate my wife as much as I do. I mean, when my mom met my wife, she spent 3 hours with her, and literally that night she called me. She said, "Do whatever you need to do to make that my daughter-in-law." And my mom has met a lot of females that I've dealt with and never said or even remotely said anything like that. No one has ever, and I do mean this, ever said anything negative about my wife as far as it comes to the kind of person she is, the kind of mother she is or would be, and the kind of wife she could be to me or is to me. Like, if anything, they looking at me like, "Don't F this up." So I'm doing my best job not to F this up. I love my wife unequivocally, and I hope that I always do what I need to do to reinforce that love with action, because I don't want to say I'm a man, but I'm imperfect. You know what I mean? You make mistakes, you get down, you do this, you do that. Like, things happen in life, and if you don't remind yourself of the person that you with, you could lose them. Not because they're willing to walk away from it, because you already did in your mind or in your heart. And it's like, I always try to remember, like, don't F this up. I mean, it's the best way I can say it. And like, but I truly love my wife and my children unequivocally, man. Everything I do in my life, work, sleep, everything I do is for them. And there's nothing that I'm doing, I'm looking at like what I can get out of it. Every once in a while, I was like, I want some chicken or something for dinner or something. But like, legit, like, everything I do is for them.
They're most grateful for their children, their families.
Most men would be.
Yeah.
Any man that values money over their family ain't grown enough to understand.
You can't. You can get the money. You can't replace the family
Or the time that you had with them. That's why, I mean, if I'm honest, like, that's part of the reason why I'm not in school now, because my kids are still at the age where they like me. They want me around. You know what I mean? So if I take that time from why they like me, am I gonna know when they older? Am I gonna know the type of people they are? I may not. Everybody's set up different, and based on my ebb and flow, right now I need to keep my ass out of school and do what I need to do as far as my family's concerned. You know what I mean? And then when they don't like me, I can go back to school.
Y'all can trade. Y'all can flip flop.
Yeah,
She'll come
because
home.
my wife
go
would
to
be in a
school.
position she ain't got to
Right.
work. You know what I mean? She ain't got to work, so she's not gonna miss anything. You know what I mean? I don't want to say I put her in a position, but we put ourselves in a position where she does not have to work while she's in school. And I feel like that's a gift that I can give to her for all she's given to me.
That is a huge gift.
Hard.
It is huge. You have no idea.
Dude,
what type of it's a huge gift to
I remember
go through school, to go to work, take care of 2 children, go back to work, and then complete a doctoral degree is outrageous. Nobody, I mean, it's ridiculous. My therapist says to me, what would you tell your friend that was trying to do that? Girl, you shouldn't be doing that. And then I say to myself, who exactly do you think you are that you can do all that? It's huge. It's a beautiful gift.
But I think that's a conversation that needs to be had for both men and women when it comes to support in a relationship. Like, what does support look like? How much of it is needed? There are sacrifices that you as a spouse need to make for the betterment of the relationship.
And I'm glad you say that, because that's a conversation me and my wife have had frequently as the school landscape has changed because of COVID. Because I told her, like, when she went out for maternity leave last year, I said, don't go back to work. She's like, why? I'm like, just go to school. F work. You know what I mean? I got it. I got us. And she's like, nah, I feel like I ain't got your back if I'm not at work. I'm like, babe, you gonna have us eventually. Like, don't worry about it.
Yo.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it still worked out. She got the extra time with Lincoln, which is the 1-year-old that gets on everybody's nerves and steals stuff. And she's putting herself in position to go back to school. So just like we've already said, when you go back to school, okay, what do I need to do to help you in the house so that you can study? I already know that I am her study buddy because she's already designated me that. So I'll have a degree in nursing too, I guess, just not accredited. You know what I mean? And I'm cool with that.
But how amazing would that be if you both were doing the same thing, studying together, achieving together, and accomplishing your goals together?
I want to be a PA. So
but I just feel like in the what you call it, academia, Dr. Taylor, academia. In the academia world, they were doing the same thing together. That would be amazing.
But see, like for me, it's like I don't want to be a nurse like that. My wife has, in my opinion, because I've been through enough hospitals and surgery centers, like she has the perfect temperament to be a nurse. She actually cares about people. A lot of nurses are burnt out and they don't care. Not all, but a good amount. Okay, I'll say that. How about that? In case there's any nurses listening about to chop my head off. But they know what I'm talking about. For me, it's like, that ain't necessarily what I want to do. But I want to help her. So whatever I need to do to help her is what I need to do. Whether it be school, whether it be studying, whether it be home, whether it be kids. Whatever she needs from me is what she's supposed to get from me because, you know what I mean, that's the vows that we took. And, you know, that's the deal we made between each other, that she get 40 years out of me before I die. So this is part of my 40 years of service.
Wait a minute. What's this? Let me write down this 40 years of service. What's that looking like? Hold up. Wait a minute.
We got married when I was
notes taken.
How old was I? 34 or something like that. So we 2 years in.
Like you're much more mature than you were the first time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, the 40 years is more of a joke because I have Crohn's. So in my mind, if I make it to 70, if I make it to 70, it's a miracle. So she was like, no, you have to give me 40 years. So that's her way of saying you not dying on me kind of thing. Like it's more of a it's our little inside joke, but it's like when she says something, this part of your 40 years, homie. So it's part of my 40 years before I die.
Okay, well, I think
that's good stuff, though.
We might close up shop on that note.
So
hold on. No, question. I'm still here. Peace out, Jake. I think we got 2 questions left.
We have several more questions left, but we are out of time, so we need to.
We done went through like 7 or 8.
Yeah, we got like 6 questions left.
Yeah, we haven't gone through 7 or 8, Darnell. I don't. We'll have to reconvene at another time. So
when you
finish this. So if you guys want to look at your calendar.
You've been listening to From Her Point of View, the show curated specifically for women by women, covering a wide range of topics. Though this is From Her Point of View, we want your point of view too. Become a part of the show. Questions, comments, and feedback are welcome through Instagram and Facebook, where we post regularly. Email us at fromherpointofviewllc@gmail.com. Leave us a voicemail at 443-507-8032. Tune in weekly, and please share with your family and friends, as we can be found on your favorite platforms: Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Thank you for listening to From Her Point of View.